Well, hello and welcome to Bright Wings, children's books to make the heart soar. I am Charity Hill, and I usually open this podcast with music. Today, I am keeping it simple. Today is known as Giving Tuesday, and I would like your patience as I tell you about what's going on with Bright Wings. I come from a family that believes in financial transparency, and I would love to just share with you what's going on financially at Bright Wings Children's Books. And I would like to ask for your help in 3 small ways. So first, I just wanted to let you know what my operating budget is and what I'm working with. So I'm just going to be totally clean with you. So it costs me $24 a month to use my website. And I have to pay, I think, something silly like $12 a month for my domain name. And I have to pay $15 a month if I use Zoom. So those are some of my operating costs. If I use the Zoom plan that allows you to talk for longer than 40 minutes. So sometimes I need that if I don't want to dump my guests off when I'm interviewing them. And then I had an incidental cost this year of $33 for some business cards. My other odd cost this year was that we decided to replace my secondhand from my brother-in-law, my secondhand laptop for my brother-in-law that's 10 years old with a newer secondhand laptop. We might not have done that if it hadn't been for the need of a good laptop for recording for this podcast. So those are the costs associating with producing this podcast for you. I just come and clean and wanted to tell you about that. My only source of income for the podcast is my bookshop account, which so many of you are really lovely and have bought from. And you've definitely, I know that a lot more of you look at it than purchase through that site. And I understand that they charge for shipping, which is such a bear. I'm sorry that they charge for shipping. And so I understand that that is less attractive to you than buying books through some other website, such as that river from South America, that place. So I get that, and I understand why you don't necessarily want to buy books through Bookshop. So that is what I spend, and my only source of income is the Bookshop site, and I've made a total of I could look at it right now, but I believe it's like $128 total. So I'm definitely operating in the red. That is not necessarily a problem, except that it kind of is. So it would be great if you could help me out in any of the 3 ways. I wonder if perhaps you could make a one-time donation if Bright Wings has done anything for you, if I've helped you have a new thought, or if I've inspired you to think about anything in a new way, if I have enriched your thought, if I have delighted your children by suggesting a wonderful book to them, if you would be so kind and generous as to donate $5, seriously, even $5 would make a difference in my budget. It's hilarious. But even if, everybody who hears this would donate $2 to $5 or $10, just like a one-time thing once a year, that would really help me out. And literally, I totally understand that everyone is asking for money. And so it's kind of awkward to ask you to donate, but there you have it. I've operated completely in the financial red area, and just making this podcast whenever I can. Okay. So, but don't get me wrong. I absolutely love it, or I wouldn't keep doing it, obviously, but it's an expensive hobby. Okay. So if you can't do it, I totally get it. If you can't donate financially, if you can do a couple of other things for me, if you could donate a review of this podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, especially if you listen on iTunes, for some reason it's super valuable if you would rate and review this podcast on iTunes. But do it wherever you listen, whatever platform you use. If you could rate Bright Wings Children's Books and review it, it would be awesome. It would give me such a huge boost. I have very little measure for what kind of an impact all of my words make out there. And so if I've mattered to you, if something that I have said here or something I've offered here or one of my guests has given you has made a difference, it would really benefit me if you would rate and review. And then the other thing that's so small, but if you don't mind, if you really would please download. It actually makes a difference. It helps me know who is actually listening, because the only thing that's counted is downloads. If you don't download, I don't know that you're listening. So these are 3 ways that you could bless me on this Giving Tuesday. And I thank you for your support. I am so grateful. We've had like 12,700 individual downloads since I've started this 2 years ago. And that means 12,700 different opportunities that my words have entered your life. Now that makes me a little teary. That is really beautiful. And I am so grateful that you are my listener, and I want your life to be filled with truth and goodness and beauty and blessing. Okay, there's something weird going on with the sound right now, but let me just finish by saying it is my intention to add to your life, to add beauty and truth and goodness to your life. And so I hope that I am being faithful to my mission. Thank you for any of the ways that you might be able to support me today.